Hi guys, welcome to another video from Massa on the Great White North. So today we're gonna look at this deck, Salamander Queen. So we're gonna do an unboxing and then we're gonna talk about how the deck works, if it's a good deck to start to play Metazoo, and yeah, do a quick deck tech on it. Alright, let's dig into it. Alright, so let's open this. I do have a nice knife now, thanks to my subscriber who felt really sad about me and say, "Oh, Masa, you really need a knife," so I got a knife donated to me. And let's open this. I'm starting with this one because I actually need some of the cards that are in this deck. Because actually a lot of cards in those sim deck can be found only in those sim deck. It's kind of fun that I got this booster. So we get the this Salamander Queen coin. I have no idea how to store those coins. It's not like I have sleeve for coin or whatever. We get the Salamander Queen. Alright, no damage. That's pretty cool. We get one more map. You know, it's the same than in the spell book. It's quite hard to open. But, I mean, if you watch this channel now, you know about it. We're just gonna show our part of the map, which is here. So we know about that, but it's useful because there is a playmat behind. And we have a manual, and we have our deck. So it's extremely cool that they give you both the promo here and the promo in the deck. So I'm gonna crack this open and I'm gonna go through the card. Let's look at the card we have in this deck. So we have like I show you, we have two Salamander Queen. We have one for collection and one to play, and we have the Fire Elemental on top of her. So this card, so Beastie Elemental. So type is Elemental. That's an important point. While Salamander Queen is in the arena, all other Flame Beastie Dinosaurs you control gain plus 10 life and gain Desert plus 25. If Salamander Queen is in the arena under your control when you contract a spell, you may pay 1 flame to place a Flame Beastie Dinosaur token with 10 life point and 10 damage attack into the arena under your control. So it means when the Queen is here, each time you play a spell, you can play 1 flame and create a token. So you can really develop your board. And when it's here, all the Beastie Dinosaurs gain plus 10 LP and plus 25 if you are in the desert. So you really need to have the desert Terra out. And Combustil Loyalty, it's an attack it's pretty similar to the Swamp Priestess. So it's 25 damage if you are just defending. But if you are attacking with it, you can send X Flame Beastie you control to Limbo, and then instead of dealing 25, you deal 25 by X, which means like if you have 5 Beastie, well, you deal 125. So this card is just like it's what I call an engine card. It allows you to create a board. So each time once it's here, each time you play a spell, you contract a spell, you create Beastie Dinosaur, and it's also a finisher. So like this is a super strong card. You can build deck around that. So you need to have Beastie Dinosaur. Giant Salamander is actually a very good card that I play in my flame deck. We have 5, so that's the max. The only kind of annoying thing is that it's not boosted by desert, it's boosted by forest. Otherwise, just like a 1 resource, 50 life, 25. It gets plus 25 damage if there is a felled tree. So if you play, well, if you play with item, you can bring a picture of a felled tree. Competitive right now we are at 3 items authorized. for competitive play. Before it was 5, and that was kind of too much, so we are 3. But yeah, so I mean, this can be relevant. Just take one of your item. Otherwise, it's 150, 25. It's just a solid one drop. I just don't think if you play Salamander, I think you need to have a lot of desert or cactus, and you can't really afford to have those forest. Fire Elemental is a very good card that you can get only in this deck. That kind of make me sad because it's only 2 and some decks use more. So if you want more of those, but well, you buy more of those sim decks, but they are hard to find. She's also in the release deck. If you get the flame release deck, we didn't get any in our shop. We got all the other sim deck. So I will see if I can get more because I want to have a deck with more than 2. So she's pretty good. She's what I call a mana sink or a resource sink. So she's a 2-drop 20, so nothing really strong. But her power is she can transform a aura page into a beastie, and it's pretty good, like a 30 by 30 beastie. But the horizon is destroyed, so it's more like an end game kind of thing, or like if you have a low curve deck, you can use her to, once you reach like 4, 5, 6 aura, you don't need those extra rounds, so she can just throw them. And otherwise, you can always attack, and she put burn, and burn actually do quite a lot of damage. It can destroy creature pretty quickly. So a solid 2-drop. I just wish there was more than 2 in the deck. I will try to chase to get a bit more of her. Then we have the Charman, which is also a card exclusive to the deck. So a lot of cards you can't get outside here. The Charman get boosted by Forest as a 5-drop, so most likely that's not gonna be good. The Charman can only choose Forest Beasties, Forest Artifacts, and Caster the target of an attack. It attack for fire wins in an attack. We say if in an area what? Alright, let me reset that. If you live in an area that is historically prone to forest fire, well, we are here. Fire winds does 100 damage, and this is kind of the card, like it's hard to build around, because like if you play competitive, you can bring only items. So after it's just like dipping on your arena, so it's kind of hard for deck techs. So it can attack 150, but still for a 5-drop, even 150 is not that good. That's one more card that is only in this deck. Spontaneous Combustion is also another card only in this deck. 2 resource and as an additional cost to contract this spell. You must send a flame beastie you control to limbo, deal 50 damage to target. So okay, we didn't talk much about removal, but most removal does 25 damage, so 50 is relevant. However, once we go like deep into like the deck construction, you will see 50 is still not enough. Typically like 100 would be a perfect removal. 50 gonna be good, but here you have to sacrifice something. So in a deck where you have a lot of tokens, this is still a good card. Then we have Fire Enchant, another card that is only in this deck, that you can't get in those boosters. When Fire Enchant is contracted, target a beastie and place Fire Enchant face up under the chosen beastie. The chosen beastie's attack gains plus 10 damage. Its attack is considered to be flame, and its attack in the following text: target opposing page in combat, or the target of this attack is inflicted with burn. If the beastie Fire Enchant is under, leave the arena, place Fire Enchant in the cemetery. And that's a 2-drop. That's just not that good. I mean, flame is a good effect, but wasting 2 resources and a card to do that, I think it's just not that good. So it's only in this deck, but you're not gonna really miss it. Fireball is a staple in fire. You see that's a 1 resource 25 damage, and it put flame. So I mean, I guess Fire Enchant give plus 10 damage. I don't know, that doesn't look really good. one bookmark. That classic, all those decks have one bookmark. You have one Chaos Crystal and one Fire Crystal. So obviously those cards are very, very good. And you can get them non-holo only in the Steam deck. They are not worth that much money. If they're holo, yes, they are worth much money. But like, I know you can get exactly, yeah, I got that. And it's more like, well, if you don't have one, if you don't pull one in one of your boxes, or if you don't have any boxes because it's hard to get Metazoo product, yeah, that's great. But it's just like, if you have the holo, this is more just like, but I mean, but in a deck tech, those are extremely powerful because those propulse you. Like, turn 1, if you can put one of those two. Turn 2, you have either 3 or 4 resource, which mean the goal is to play Salamander Queen that costs 5. So you could play her technically on turn 2. You go turn 1, you play a Flame Aura and Chaos Crystal, it's untap. And turn 2, you play one more Fire Aura and you have the Salamander Queen. And most likely your opponent cannot come back. So you will have to attack Chaos Crystal. You can attack those crystals. They have 25 life for the Chaos one because it's very strong, and 50. But if you are on the play, if you start and you play that, your opponent will not have a card to attack it. And then turn 2, you have 5 resource and you play Salamander Queen and you just win the game. So yeah, super powerful staple. And then, alright, a lot of Flame Aura, which is important. Only one desert, I find it a bit. I would play 2 in this deck. How many flames? 3, 4, 5. 3, 4. What? 15. Well, 15 flame is a lot. I would never play 15 in a deck like that. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Okay, well, 50 is a lot of resource. But anyway, that's how they make. I think, especially you have 2 crystals, I think 10, 11 max, maybe 12, really max would have been enough. But at least you have some spare. So we're gonna try to play some deck with this, some game with this deck. I think it have some good removal, have a good one drop. I just think like the Fire Enchant is not that great. I know we have too many lands, I mean too many aura. I think that's one of the cool deck. Just wish they put a bit more fire elemental. But yeah, pretty basic. You play your one drop, you play those, and fire elemental you can play. It's good early game and it's good late game because either you do fire wisp or late game you use the power. And the goal is really you get your Salamander Queen. There is no tutor, there is no draw card except bookmark. So it's gonna be hard to draw it, and the rest of the deck is kind of not very powerful. But yeah, that was a deck tech for this deck. I hope you like it. We're gonna try to do all the deck tech for each of those Steam deck. And if you have some requests or some question, you put in the comment below. Don't forget to subscribe so that we can get more Metazoo stuff for you. Alright, cheers.